I'm starting now, so don't click away. Here's everything I bought in Japan. Let's begin with the Pokemon Center items. I visited one of the Osaka Pokemon Centers and one in Tokyo. At both of them, I noticed they had these mystery Pokeballs. I think the idea is that you buy it, and when you get home, you find out which Pokemon you got. I got these as a gift for someone, but I was still curious to see what they'd get. The first one was a Toxel, which is super cool. I think he's a really cute Pokemon. I really wanted a Snom. That was one of the options that they showed. Unfortunately, the second one was Scorbunny. I hate this fucking Pokemon, Bugs Bunny looking ass. I don't like him at all, so I'm kind of glad the person I gave it to does, because fuck Scorbunny. Anyways, moving on. If you know me, you know that I love Marnie. She's my favorite. I've been obsessed with her since the very first moment she was announced. And of course, when I saw this at the store, I just knew this was something that I was going to spend money on. So this is a step counter. I haven't taken it out of the box because I haven't quite figured out what the hell I'm going to do with it. As you know, in the US, there's not really walkable cities so much that I guess I could put this on my bag or something. My phone already does this. I just thought it was cute, and it was the last one, so I just knew I had to buy it. An impulse purchase, but definitely not one I regret. Next up, we have an Easter-themed bento box. I know what you're thinking. 1, didn't you go after Easter? And 2, don't you work from home? The answer is yes to both. I absolutely do not need this, but I definitely did want it. I have no fucking idea what I'm going to use it for, probably just as a normal bowl for leftovers and things like that. I'm actually rather surprised they still had some Easter-themed stuff left over. I was under the perception that this was kind of popular and kind of rare. I've owned a couple of bento boxes. This one's definitely the nicest. It comes with an ice pack so that you can keep things cool, and plenty of different containers to separate out things if you're like a picky eater or you're bringing a lot. I don't know. I don't think I've ever had a lunch this large. Maybe you could bring lunch for yourself and some friends and some snacks. And I haven't used it, but I'm going to assume, since it seems to be some kind of plastic, that this dainty yellow color is not going to make it out unscathed. I'll try to avoid spaghetti and other colorful foods. And if you thought I was going to be saving money at the Pokemon Center, then I'll let you know that'll happen when pigs fly. Speaking of pigs flying, this is another one of those Easter items. It was sold out in Tokyo, but when I went to Osaka, luckily they had it. So I definitely bought this. They had a really cute like hair accessory, just accessories in general section. And as much as I loved all these earrings, I just knew that a hairpin was something I was more likely to use, so I got the Pyukumuku, and then of course I had to get the Snom as well. So they're here and they're cute. And I'm sorry to be that person, but we're not done with the Pokemon stuff yet. These are terrariums. I thought they were absolutely the cutest fucking thing I've ever seen, and they would look perfect on a shelf on my wall. I hadn't opened them at all until this point, so I had no idea what I was getting into. Turns out these are more of a figurine type situation, like a Gundam almost. Like you put them together and then you can display them. I thought they were pre-made, but they're not. Considering they're like 3 pieces max, I don't think it's going to end up being an issue. Definitely excited to put them all together and definitely excited to display them. I feel like if anything, it makes me more excited to take these out. So I'll give you a look at what one of them is like on the inside. This one is a Snorlax, as you can tell from his big blue bulbous body. They've got it wrapped really good, which is kind of funny to me because it's mostly plastic. I wish they had this kind of QC on all of the card products, but nonetheless, I think it's super cute. I can't wait to put it together, and maybe I'll make a video of it. I don't know if you guys would be interested in that, but I definitely want to make these as soon as possible and get them on my shelf because they're such a cute addition to my figurine collection. So let's wrap that up real good and just put them back because we're not gonna do that right now, and move on to our next item. So for this trip, I actually bought a brand new laptop, and so I needed a brand new laptop case. I completely neglected to measure my laptop and made this impulse purchase. It is so cute. It's got a bunch of water Pokemon on the back. Only one slight problem, it does not fit my laptop at all. It's like half of an inch at most. So yeah, it doesn't fit. I'm gonna have to sell this one. RIP. And while that is everything I got from the Pokemon Center, I wanted to mention I got scammed in the US. I bought this card for, as you can see, $16. There is, some kind of chipping near the N in trainer. And so just to set the mood, I had just been scammed. I'm in Japan. There's a million different cards. I have no way to know who to trust, who not to trust, if something's fake. They print different cards in their sets there, and I'm aware of a few of them, but for me, I was just feeling like I was probably going to get scammed, so I was very reluctant to buy anything, especially with all of the gashapon and things going on that look like obvious scams. And so I ended up getting this one card. It was very affordable. I wouldn't be surprised if it's fake. You guys can tell me in the comments below because I am way too lazy to research it. This is evidently a real print. So if it is fake, it's just not official. Either way, it's going in my collection, so I don't really mind. I think it's a beautiful card, and I wish they printed this as a US version. As far as I'm aware, it doesn't exist here. And then what's the point of visiting Japan if you're not going to stop at DAISO? So DAISO is an 100 yen store. Not everything is 100 yen, but I picked up a few things here and there. And I also picked up some stationery while I was there. It's kind of hard to open, not gonna lie. Obviously, this isn't everything I got. If you want to see more stationery things from Japan, go follow Psycho Stationery. I don't necessarily think that the audience here is super interested in that, so I just wanted to show this stamp and also this FriXion pen. If you aren't familiar with the concept of a FriXion pen, it's a pen that has an eraser. And it's very interesting how this eraser works. I made a video on the Psycho Stationery channel about it. And I just like how they have so many different patterns and designs in Japan that aren't gaudy. The US versions of the FriXion pen kind of look like a bad tribal tattoo, so I always love to grab a few when I visit. And this is officially the coolest thing I own. It's an ammonite fossil from Madagascar. I had no idea that there were stores catered specifically to fossilized creatures and bugs and minerals, and you know what I'm saying. There's so many different options and so many cool things here. Obviously, I couldn't afford any of them. This one was relatively inexpensive because it's common. I genuinely don't care if I got scammed, but if I was a millionaire one day, you can guarantee that my house would look like an Animal Crossing house with just fossils everywhere. Oh my god, they're so expensive. Well, what? I've never seen one in real life.
How much are they?
Down here. 143,000 yen. When I was in Harajuku, we saw this really cute Shugokara. I don't know what you would call it, but it's for holding your subway pass. I think it's for kids, but I love Shugokara, so I don't care. And then this isn't something I bought necessarily, but I still think it's really interesting. We had gone to the Lawson with the intent just to buy some water bottles and small things. And there was a group that was ahead of us that was much larger and bought more than we did. I guess there must have been a promo, or they saw me looking at the Niji-Sanji stuff, but they ended up giving us these free posters for this anime I've literally never heard of.
We went to the Lawson and they gave us a bunch of
I hear you talking about VTubers?
well, maybe.
I ended up looking up this anime, and the trailer is just a minute straight of this one girl just eating shit. The trailer alone almost convinced me, so if you've watched this, please let me know. I need to know. I gotta watch it. back to our regularly scheduled programming. This is an umbrella. It must be made of fucking gold because it was super expensive. I didn't want to haul the $3 one halfway across the country. I also got my first Traveler's Notebook. If you're not familiar with the Traveler's Notebook, they sell different charms and inserts. This one right here is from the Starbucks Reserve in Tokyo. They were super nice. Obviously, the coffee was expensive and took fucking forever, but they had some insanely adorable stuff. I was not expecting Starbucks to pop off this hard. Like, look me in the eyes and tell me that this isn't one of the cutest washi tapes that you've ever seen. That these charms and the color schemes that they picked aren't just amazing. I can't believe that Starbucks could go so hard. I mean, I wasn't a Starbucks girly previously, but the Sakura Blossom, especially because the location is right on Meguro River, is just so fitting and so cute, especially these pink inserts. But the fun didn't stop there because I also got another charm from the Traveler's Factory in Kyoto. So these charms are pretty sought after in the traveler community because the only place you can get this one is Kyoto. And so people generally will like ship it overseas, but I obviously am keeping this. Sorry for the dust, by the way. I don't know why it's so dusty. This material just like sucks up all the dust. And the inserts as well are super clean, super pretty. I can't wait to ruin this notebook. I've been trying really hard to keep it in good shape, but yeah, it's not gonna last very long. I've been collecting things from all of my journeys recently, and then also this has a sticker pack in the back. If you don't know, this is sticker release paper, which means that I can reuse all of these stickers because this is what goes on the back of normal stickers. And last but not least, something I've been looking for forever. Every time I go to Japan, I seem to find an old figurine that I wanted as a kid, but was never able to afford. And that was this one this time. This is the Gloomy Bear X Supersonico collaboration. And obviously with used figurines, I always worry about things happening to them previously, but let's not think about that. I was genuinely worried about the quality of this particular figurine because I know it's been out for a long time, so it's been sitting in someone's fucking basement or in a jar or something. Thankfully, it wasn't in awful condition. There appears to be some like slight cracking in places and like some scuff marks, but other than that, pretty clean. Nothing's broken on it as far as I can tell, and so I'm pretty justified in this purchase. I feel pretty good about it, actually. There were so many options. I thought I was going to come home with Miku or Rem. I also got a little distracted.
The main character. Yeah, it's official. It's him in a towel, and when you pull the towel back, his ding-dong's out. It's probably...
I never did get that figurine. Anyways, here is one final shot of my queen in all of her glory. She will be sitting on my shelf and staring at the back of my head for probably the rest of her life. It's kind of like rehab. I imagine this is a much more palatable environment compared to whoever previously owned her. And last but not least, I got these super adorable Sumikko Gurashi shoes. That's all. Please subscribe. Please.